All right.
You ready?
I am excited for today's recipe. Because we are doing, I called it the Veggie-Bombed chicken casserole.
Let me bring you up, boo.
Happy Saturday.
Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, boo. How are you?
We in the kitchen cooking.
In the kitchen room, sister, like a stir fry. We in this thing. We in this thing.
And I realized when I was looking at the instructions, I forgot to add on there the cooking the rice instructions before adding it to, because like if you do with cauliflower rice, you don't really have to cook it because it's cauliflower. So yeah, obviously cook your rice first. So I'm not going to do it with the cauliflower because I don't have enough. I only have one head of cauliflower and I would actually need two for this recipe. So I'm going to use, this is actually a rice blend I bought at Aldi. Telling you, it's all kinds of gems.
Good. At Aldi.
And so I'm going to get the rice started.
Yes.
So I have a filter on my water faucet because we don't play with the hard water. We don't do all of that here. So we get filtered water straight from the faucet. And it saves on buying bottled water too. So if you are a bottled water drinker, I would suggest getting a sink filter.
Right.
Saves you money, helps the environment, less plastic in the landfills, all that good stuff. And it keeps it simple. Keeps it nice and simple.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to show you all. So I have my let me turn it on. I have my food scale over here, and I'm going to show you let me see that. Show you the weight of the chicken. So this is one of the chicken breasts from the chicken from last week, actually.
Okay.
That's how big that pack was. So we just separated them and froze it. But I'm actually going to show you all how much one of these chicken breasts weigh. So the recipe costs like a pound. And that's just a guesstimate. Like, really, it could be, based on how much chicken you actually want in every bite in your casserole. That's up to you. So I just gave it a quick little rinse down. I probably pat it with a paper towel too, because it's real juicy now. Real juicy. So we're just gonna dry it a little bit so it's not leaking chicken water everywhere. Okay. So one chicken breast. Oh, it turned off on me. Right when I put it on the scale, it turns off. Right. Back up. Turn it back on. So this one chicken breast weighs almost a pound and a half. 1 pound, 4.4 ounces. So yeah.
Oh, wow. That one, that's a lot.
Yeah. So I wasn't exaggerating when I said these are some giant giant pieces of chicken. And I told you I got that pack at Aldi for like, I want to say like $8 and some, but it was
Oh,
four
wow.
giant chicken breasts like that. So it was like six and a half, almost 7 pounds. I want to say a chicken. And I also got the broccoli floret at Aldi. It's in the frozen section where you would find, all the other frozen vegetables. I just grabbed a pack of these. And I'm not actually going to use this whole pack because this is a whole pound, so we don't need a whole pound of broccoli. But this is the star of the show today because broccoli is very, very nutritious, super healthy, and just having you a little bit of broccoli, daily can really make a big difference in your health. So we'll get into that as we get on with the cooking. So I have and actually these are mushrooms that I got. I didn't get these from Aldi, but I just chopped them up. I had already diced them and I just froze them. And then my sweet peppers are already prepared as well, just diced and frozen. Nothing spectacular. And then this is a 2-cup cheese. Got my baby bib ready. Hey, Ty. And so this is a 2-cup serving. If you have a 1-cup pouch, you can probably do like multiple different cheeses. But my favorite type of cheese for casseroles is Kobe Jack because it has that that stringy type texture and the standard cheesiness. So I like that one. And then of course my Parmesan to go on the top to make it prettiful.
So I did a few different things. I wanted to kind of like dress this recipe up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So I ended up getting some chicken breast as well. And I just added real quick the jerk chicken marinade. And then I'm gonna do a mix. So I have some white rice, but I also have this chicken flavor rice, which I haven't had the chance to use. So I want to kind of mix that and get that flavor going on in there. And then I got the mushrooms, the mixed peppers, onions, some spinach. I went and got some spinach and broccoli. And I had a carrot. I had to buy a carrot for the Rock because she made a snowman. So we have extra carrots. So I'm going to use the things in my refrigerator. I'm not going to put that to waste. And then also I want to add these jardinere peppers. So I just want to give it a try, see how it turns out. You never know. Oh, yes. And I have the habanero jack cheese. So yeah,
I was considering pepper jack cheese. I didn't want my mom complaining about the spicy.
Right. I ain't gonna be spicy. At first I wasn't, but it's gonna be spicy. Yeah. I wanted to be good. I wanted to, be something different because again, these things are like stuff that I want to try at the cafe. I want to, say, okay, this is what we serving for today. We got this what do you got it? Veggie-Bombed.
Yeah, Veggie-Bombed. Yes. Because you can put like literally any vegetable that you love, taste, try. And I got some eggplant in there. I was considering doing that.
Ooh,
adding that to it too. Squash, like literally anything. Just make sure you cut it up, season it like the way that you would season anything else. So don't skimp on the seasons just because you're not sure what the vegetable is or what it does. Make it taste like how you want it to taste, like how
That's
you want
right.
to enjoy it.
That's right. It should adapt to the taste and the flavor. If not, enhance it or bring it out. You know, enhance it or bring it out. That's like.
Yeah, and like I said last week, if you're gonna be using powdered or like dried seasonings and herbs and things like that, make sure you have the unsalted variety. So like they have onion salt and garlic salt. You will also want to have onion powder and garlic powder so that you can control the amount of salt in your food when you're seasoning, so that you can get the flavor and not so much of the salt, because those actually have less of the onion and the garlic in it than you would think, and actually more of the salt. So if you want more of the onion or the garlic flavor, I would say either use fresh garlic and onion or get the powdered versions.
Yes.
And right now, I'm just getting ready to cube my chicken. So I'm just cutting it into strips so I can cut them down into little cubes. So when I cook it, I don't actually have to pan cook it as long to get it cooked thoroughly. And then I can have more chicken bites throughout. But like I said, this is a lot of chicken. So you already saw proof that this is a giant
Yes,
chicken.
that was a huge
It's a
chicken.
lot of chicken.
Like that chicken's huge.
So this is gonna be a super chicken veggie bomb casserole.
Yes, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Like again, and that's like that one chicken breast. Like how far it's gonna go. Like I used to think like that you would have to have so much food, and it's not. You overcook. You know what I'm saying? Like you just needed that one chicken breast.
Yeah.
If
One
that,
serving of meat
you
is
could almost
about
get in
3
a
or 4
hand.
ounces. So this is actually 6 or 7 servings worth of meat.
How many?
6 or 7 servings worth of meat, because one
That's
serving
a
is
lot.
about 3 or 4 ounces. So if you actually stick to your portion sizes, where you only have the three, like this is about 3 or 4 ounces of meat. So this is actually one serving, of meat. So if you're having more than that in one sitting, you're putting a lot of strain on your digestive system. Hence the reason why you get the itis and you get tired, because your body now has to basically shut you down so it can do its job, because you've overeaten on meat. So I would definitely say be mindful of your meat servings, as well as your carb servings. So whatever starch you're having with it, like the rice, or like you're doing potatoes or something like that. Like that's why I say you can stub in cauliflower rice for this, because that actually reduces the amount of carbs that you're taking in, and also the number of calories, obviously. But like I said, the source of the carbs and the calories is actually more important than the number of carbs and calories that you intake. So that's also a thing to sorry, I'm salting my water for my rice. That's also a
Hey,
thing to
Lord
keep in mind.
Ty. Shout out to Miss Evelyn. Hey, KT.
Thought
Lord
this was
Ty
vegan chicken.
said, KT, stop
No.
the hat.
Ty talking about some vegan chicken. No.
What is that?
If you still not eating meat.
That's right. What? I think he's not. I think he's still on straight vegan. While I'm sitting over here without an unpreheated oven.
Different chunks. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't have to be perfect. Just, get them down into chunks.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we
Oh, and this is just parchment paper. It's nothing like special. You can find it in the usually in the bakery, the baking section.
uh-huh.
And if it's not there, they'll probably have it like near the wherever they keep the aluminum foil and stuff like that. So I figured I'd finally get me some because a lot of the other like bacon and stuff that I do actually does call for using parchment paper. And it makes it easier for me to shape my granola bars too.
Did you say granola bar?
Yeah, I actually single wrap them in the parchment paper because it just tears off easy, so I can make like little granola
Girl,
bites.
I need granola bars in my life. I miss those. I got like another recipe for that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is probably like the most cumbersome part of this recipe is just cutting your chicken down. But once we get this going, like everything is gonna go so fast, and there's just gonna be a whole lot of waiting while it's in the oven.
Right. That's what it's all about. And and of course
But I have some very
we can show.
interesting facts about the broccoli that's going into it because people always talking about broccoli, but I don't think they fully understand like how like amazing it is. Like I'm surprised. Like I don't even know. Like do they call broccoli a superfood?
I'm shocked that it ain't. I feel like it is. I don't know why.
Because all the stuff that it does and that like it can do is just it was some stuff
But
that
what
I
things
read
give
up
me
on that
no
I didn't
idea.
even
'Cause
know
I'm not
it
saying
did.
what things can it do, sis?
Well, for one, it's super high in antioxidants, so that helps with like all of the stuff that comes along with aging. If you have any type of like injuries, muscle inflammation, and all of that, like antioxidants help your body repair those cells much quicker. So
Okay.
if you've been eating broccoli, like you don't just start just because you had this thing go wrong. But if you've been eating broccoli, like your recovery from whatever it is that that you've experienced is actually going to be much shorter. So it's best to just be proactive and start getting the broccoli in your system now. Because it's
That's
actually
good.
fairly cheap, which is like that's what I'm saying. I'm like it's a superfood and it's pretty
Yeah.
cheap. Like it's very easy to find. It's highly accessible. You can get it in all types of varieties in the non-GMO, organic, like whatever it is your eating preference is or whatever for it. You can find it in all of those categories. So and like I said, I just got a bag of frozen broccoli at Aldi. And also you
That
can
low key,
also
that's that place though. I already that
I'm
low low.
telling you, they definitely do their job right catering. But you can actually get the same amount of nutrients from the stems as you do from the florets. So if you're making like soups and stews and stuff, you can actually put the broccoli stem into your soups and get the same benefits as if you put the florets in. So it might be something that you're making that you don't want all the little, broccoli little florets, bobbing around in it. So you just prefer to stand on instead of using celery, you can actually use broccoli stems.
I'm gonna mute for a second since it's kind of loud.
Okay. So my water for my rice is boiling, so I'm about to put my
Oh, Lord Ty say he not vegan. It's just been 11 years since he's had chicken.
11 years. Yikes! I don't know. I can't do that. I think I did like the vegetarian thing for like a week or so, and that was a struggle. So I just kind of cycle my recipes. So I'll have like a vegetarian recipe for like lunch or dinner, and I'll actually have like a breakfast meat or something in my lunch. But yeah, I'm not just all in for one thing. I don't do that. But that's actually how I operate. Moderation is key. So if you do have multiple options, it's best to explore those options, find out what works for you, and stick to it. And vegan and vegetarian just don't work for me. But I fully support the people who do. So
Yeah, as I was like kind of like moving around, it was one point I wasn't eating chicken, I wasn't eating, you know, until I kind of just learned. Like honestly, as long as it's written that we can eat it, we can eat it. And it's just about your portion control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to eat more than 10 minutes. Like that's a lot. Like if you like eating, we can just like, watch that intake.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is between you eating right and proper exercise. Even if it's just not even like activity, up and down your stairs
Yeah.
is cool.
30
Ooh,
minutes,
broccoli for us with salt and pepper.
5
Come
days
on
a
now.
week.
Come
30
on now.
minutes,
That sound
5 days a
good,
week.
Ty.
That's how simple it is. 30 minutes, 5 days a week. All you need is 150 minutes a week of active exercise outside of your normal activity. So if you have an active job or you participate in an activity or something that you do weekly or something that you do as a part of your routine, that doesn't count because guess what? Your body is used to it. Everything that you're already doing around it is already supporting that activity. The point of exercise is to stress your body, like actually stress and strain and stretch your body beyond what it normally does. That's what exercise is. So if you're not being stressed, then your body has no reason to change. That's where change comes from, stress. So it's important to get, and there's good stress, mind you, not like, stressing over bills and work and getting stuff done. That's not what I'm talking about. It's all about discipline. Absolutely, Ty. But I usually do like 2 or 3 intense workouts a week. Mostly because of what my body is used to. I was a high school athlete and I played like several different sports that required a whole lot of running. So my muscle density is actually pretty high, even in my older age now, and I'm not as active as I was then. So I have to stay mindful as to what type of activity I do to actually get the results I'm looking for. And the the workout is important, but fueling your body for the workout is even more important, which is where these foods and stuff that we're cooking, where all of this stuff comes into play. So chicken is a very good source of protein, especially when you cut the fat off. So you see, I cut that little piece of fat off. It wasn't a whole lot on that chicken breast, so that's good. So like I said, I'll be coming through with the with the good quality stuff. So the chicken that I got there actually turned out to be pretty lean, and I found out on my favorite science guy show, Bill Nye. He has a new show out now called what's that? Bill Nye Saves the World. I love him. I watched all of his shows when I was a kid. So when he was talking about like how much food it actually takes to feed the animals that we eat. So cows have I would say what do you call it? The least efficient use of feed. So they take a lot of feed to get 1 pound of meat. And so for chicken is probably like one of the more efficient. I think it's like a couple of bags of feed to get 1 pound of meat from them. So they're pretty nutrient dense in their meat. They're pretty efficient with how they process the feed and stuff that they eat to give, the meat that we eat. And so with that, um, lean meats in general, not just chicken. If you're eating lean meat, then you're doing good. So the beef and all that stuff, like yeah, they all have different, um, I would say, digestion and processing times. Because red meat is even more nutrient dense than chicken, so it's actually a lot harder for your body to process it. So that's why they say limit your red meat intake. And plus, also some of the other byproducts of you digesting it causes other things that occur in your digestion. But that's another topic for another time. But that's why it's very important to get your vegetables in. Um, Even steaks. When you go to a steakhouse, they don't just give you a steak and say, here you go. Like, no, they give you asparagus or broccoli or some other type of vegetable on the side, and they absolutely intend for you to eat that. And I would say instead of the potato, because you have other options other than a baked potato. So I would say instead of getting a potato, you could opt for an extra side of vegetables. And don't sit there and eat the whole steak at the steakhouse because they're giving you 2 or 3 servings worth of meat. And that's if you order the smaller portion. Like they have 20-ounce steaks. Like that's food for like 5 or 6 people, and you trying to sit there and eat it in one sitting. Like, don't do that to yourself. Because you gonna feel it. And then when you walking around all stuffed and backed up and wonder why you ain't been to the toilet yet, that's why. So you absolutely, let me turn this fire down. I ain't trying to flash fry the chicken. So I'm gonna dump all of this in here. Let me see if you can see that. I'm gonna dump all of this into the pan. And that turned back on. Okay. And then I'm just gonna season the chicken in the pan while I'm frying. So all I did was just add some olive oil in the pan, heated it up, and now I'm about to get it going. Gotta put this, spread the chicken out in an even layer as much as possible. Because this was a lot of chicken. Like, I really wasn't expecting to eat this much chicken. I might not even put all of this into the casserole. I might just cook it and then save it for something else. Like I got plenty of tortilla shells, so I'll probably end up doing a quesadilla or something for lunch with some of the leftover pieces. Because this is a lot of chicken. Like this would completely take over the casserole if I put all of this in there. So yeah, spread it out and put a little bit of oil on top of it because it's so much more chicken than I anticipated. Now I'm going to season it. Got our rosemary. You see that? Got our rosemary. Put that in here. And this is how I normally season my food. So if y'all got any qualms or quips about how I'm seasoning my food, that's fine. You ain't got to put it in there. But rosemary is very good for your digestion, for your immune system. It helps with all types of like bacterial situations and stuff like that. So it's a very good food, well not food, but herb to cook with on a regular basis. And I got my garlic. I really should have put this into the pan first because it helps when you cook the garlic down a little bit to make it more aromatic, and it releases more of its flavors and stuff like that when you add it to the pan by itself. But it's okay. We're not trying to save the world. We're just cooking food. And so that's another thing. Like, don't get caught up in being perfect or doing everything like right or, whatever, because that's still kind of subjective and, questionable. If it turns out tasting good, then all of it works. And even how you cook your food actually affects the type of nutrients that you're going to get from it. So, like with broccoli, if you boil it, you'll actually change how much vitamin C is in it based on otherwise if you steam it. So steaming actually maintains more of the vitamin C than any other cooking method. So if you're trying to boost your vitamin C content, get you some raw broccoli. That's why eating raw vegetables or having salads and things with different types of vegetables in it is so important and useful to your overall health, is because you're getting a whole different set of nutrients from your vegetables when you don't cook them. I was trying to, you know what? I haven't found time at the other grocery store. I probably have to get it at. I might have gotten this at Aldi, but I like Time too. Time has its benefits as well, and one of the surprising benefits is.
I said, yeah, I just got some time today.
Surprising benefits. Yeah. So one of the surprising benefits is that it
It's not
actually
good.
increases the salty flavor of your food. So if you use thyme, you can actually use less salt and not have to sacrifice the taste. So get some thyme in your seasoning regimen to help reduce your salt intake. And then we're gonna add some whole oregano. So this chicken is actually here. I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna scoop this over so you can see the pan better. So the chicken is actually very juicy in this pan. So it's only a little bit of oil, but the chicken is creating a lot of juice in this pan, and that's gonna be great with the other vegetables I'm gonna add. So this is oregano now that I'm adding on here, and I'm getting ready to flip my chicken actually. And so, and then this is my peppercorn medley. I got this at Aldi too. Okay, okay, yep. This smells really good, and all it is just the chicken in the pan right now. So, and that's about all the spices on it. And some ground ginger. Now, ginger is one of those things where you can have it dried, ground, fresh, whatever, and you're still gonna get the same benefits from it. So. Yay, shout out to our super one of our super veggies or our super I don't know what they call it because ginger is actually a spice. So yeah. And it used to be called mandrake root. So that's another name for it because the way the what do they call them, the tubules how the roots extend out, they end up looking like a person. So that's kind of how it got its name. Ooh, this smells really good. So we're gonna flip this over, and I'm gonna get my other
All right, did
vegetables
I mix
ready.
the rice?
You said,
The
did you
rice
make the
go
rice?
inside?
Oh yeah, my
Yeah.
rice is on. That was the first thing I put on when I was explaining that if you're using cauliflower rice, you don't actually have to boil it first.
Hold on.
So you see when we flip it over, how the chicken is white. That's how you know it is cooked. So if you flip it over and you still see some pink, you might want to let it cook a little bit longer on the other side before you flip all of it over, because you want it to be fully cooked before you add it in the casserole. Otherwise, you're gonna be cooking your casserole a long time. So to avoid having to cook it longer, you can pre-cook your chicken, and it'll actually save you a little bit of time on your casserole. And then at that point, you're only cooking the casserole for all the ingredients to mix in together, uh, and your egg and stuff to cook. Okay, so chicken is lit and done.
Is it? Is it? Is it? Yeah, my chicken is done. It look good. I'm
And
about
then
to.
we're gonna add in. So now while the other side is cooking, I can actually add in my other vegetables. So I'm gonna put my sweet peppers. I actually I thought we had some sweet onions. Otherwise, I would grab one when I went to the store the other day. So I won't be putting any sweet onion in this, but trust me, the sweet onion is it's gonna smack with this. So if you got some,
Says we
make
smack.
sure you add some. And then so I'm eyeballing everything. I did put measurements on the recipe list, so you can either follow those measurements if you're not sure about how it's going to taste, and if you follow those, you'll have a nice little even mix of all the vegetables and stuff without one overrunning the other. But if you want more of another vegetable than another one, you can do that. This is very, very personal. It's very easy to customize, and it's very easy to get real creative with changing up the ingredients and the vegetables and things in it.
Gotcha.
Now, the difference in the meat that you use is going to change how it tastes because meats have their own flavor, as we all know. So you can do it with a different meat if you would like, but if you do, I would say adjust the seasonings that you use to fit the meat that you're using. Um, Otherwise, you could run into some odd like back taste that you wouldn't normally consider. So
But you know what? This yogurt, I can use this for so much. Like I got food in
hmm
there that I can use this in.
yep. And it's because the yogurt is it's not just milk. It actually has bacterial cultures in them. It actually helps with your gut bacteria, so your digestion, and it acts as a probiotic. So, and also in women, it actually helps with your vaginal bacterial balance as well. So that's why if a woman is prone to yeast infections and things like that, doctors tend to recommend eating yogurt, adding yogurt to your diet for that
Oh
very reason.
wow. Oh wow. Yes. I got cranberries. I just bought oranges. I still got these pineapples. Like I can do so much.
Oh yeah, parfaits all day. And
Uh,
it's super easy, super simple. If you want it sweeter, you can add like a teaspoon of honey and mix it in with the yogurt, and then top it with your fruit and your nuts. Uh, yeah, yogurt is definitely very versatile. And that's also another thing. So, like, usually with casseroles, you would have to have like a ton of butter with milk and your egg and all that stuff to get like that creamy, thick, congealed kind of consistency. But because I'm actually using whole milk yogurt, not low fat yogurt. You can use low fat yogurt, but that adjusts the fat content. So, because I'm using the whole milk yogurt, so it has all the fat content, I can skip the butter. So, and butter, I don't care how healthy they call it. They even have vegan butter that doesn't use dairy, but it still uses oil. So butter is essentially a stick of fat. So if you're trying to lower the fat content, it's actually best to use a whole fat type of milk or something like that. Otherwise, um, then you'll have to use the butter for the fat content. Because I believe vegan butter actually uses like vegetable oils like olive oil, um, not vegetable oils, but they use like olive oil, avocado oil, like those type of oils, and they mix it with water to make it congeal the way it does because those oils actually aren't ever solid. Like they shouldn't be solid at
okay.
pretty much any temperature. Even if you put olive oil in the refrigerator, if it gets solid, you're not using olive. It's not olive oil, and you
Wow.
actually do have to watch that because I was reading on a couple of different blogs actually that like olive oil is like the new like mob business. So they went from like bootlegging, liquor during prohibition to bootlegging
Right.
olive oil
What?
now. So if you have a bottle of olive oil, to check to see if it's actually olive oil, put it in the refrigerator, and if it gets solid, then you don't have pure olive oil. Like it might
Wow.
get some olive oil in it, but it's not pure olive oil because
Right.
olive
So it
oil
has some
will
in it, but
never
it
get
ain't
solid.
pure. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Ain't that something?
Yeah. This smells so good.
Girl, this smells amazing. Like the chicken breast.
This
I
actually
put
smells like
no,
chicken noodle soup. Like
huh?
if I just added noodles, like if I just add this to noodles, like it could easily be chicken noodle soup, like right now. So now I'm gonna add what are my broccoli though? Oh, my broccoli.
This is smelling good. It's looking good. It's very colorful. I love these portobello mushrooms inside. Like this looks looking amazing. The chicken smells good. So,
And if you want like smaller broccoli pieces, you can cut your broccoli up into smaller chunks.
right.
But I actually want like my broccoli like big to be seen. Because like I
And
said, it's the
this is
star of the
the
show. We out here saving lives with food. And another cool fact about broccoli is that it actually helps protect your brain from aging. diseases like, loss of memory, Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
things like that. So it actually gives you nutrients and antioxidants and things
Wow.
that help protect your brain. And it also helps with recovery from stroke. So if you've been eating your broccoli and God forbid you have a stroke, your recovery will actually be a lot faster and easier, and it actually protects your brain from damage from the stroke, as well as your heart. So if you have a heart attack, it helps your heart recover, your heart muscles recover faster due to the antioxidant content in the
Wow.
broccoli. So yeah, get you some broccoli because it's definitely out here like full body armor.
No, I mean, and that's the one thing about this show. Like, seriously, it's not really like the cooking and the eating. Like, it's learning like the real benefits of this stuff. Like, again, eating with intent. It's not just we just eating. We eating with a purpose.
Yep. When
I
you know
love
why
it.
it's good for you, it's gonna
I'm
make
tasting
it
the
taste
piece.
that much better.
Girl, this chicken, everything.
You eat the thing.
I ate a piece.
It's so tender too. This is gonna
That's
be so good.
fine.
So let me get my pan, and I'm actually putting mine in my air fryer. So I'm about to get my air fryer set up now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get another air fryer. I'm gonna get one like yours.
The big one.
Yeah, they had like the extra large with the 3 tray, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Uh-huh. Yep, that's what I got. It's got like 3,
Yep.
I think, no, it's got
I'm
like
getting
4
that.
holder levels. And then it's got like the rotisserie rack in there.
I'm getting that.
So all of
I
this is
just
pretty much
started going through
done. I
this
just
way,
have
like,
my
I'm just gonna
broccoli
use this way.
frozen. So I just have my broccoli getting itself together so it's not frozen anymore. But I'm actually gonna I can turn this off now and put a lid on it so it stays warm in the steam. And so actually the way I cook this, I'm technically steaming the broccoli because the broccoli isn't even in the pan or touching nothing on the bottom, so it's actually getting steamed from the chicken. So this is helping to maintain the nutrients in the broccoli. And even if you steam it, so let's see, the original vitamin C content in raw broccoli, 1 cup of raw broccoli is like 134% of your recommended daily intake of vitamin C. So it's super high in vitamin C. And one cup of broccoli has a lot of vitamin C. And then if you steam it, even
What
just
is this?
half a cup, you still get 84% of your recommended daily intake of vitamin C. So steaming it is the best way to do your broccoli if you're gonna cook it. At least outside of putting it in like a soup or stew or something like that. Obviously you can't avoid boiling it at that point, but if you're just going to eat broccoli on the side by itself, it's best to steam it.
This smells like an amazing salad.
I'm telling you, because I'm up here, and I actually made me a shake earlier so I wouldn't be hungry while I'm cooking, but I didn't really get a chance to eat it. I mean, to drink it when I made it. So it's in the refrigerator right now, and I really wish I went on ahead and actually ate that. So now I'm just gonna take a little standard bowl and I'm gonna beat my egg.
You got a question? I don't know if you saw that. Do you have to cook fresh broccoli first?
No, it depends on if you how firm you want it. If you don't want firm broccoli, then yes, cook it first. And like I said, the best way to cook it is to steam it. But if you don't mind firm broccoli, then I would say no. And then really it's a casserole. So once you mix everything together and you put it in the oven, it's gonna get soft anyway. I always eat with a purpose. I bet you do, Ty.
I bet you do. Tell them again. I bet you do.
I had to move this stuff.
Tell her again, Laura Ty. Where you at, KT? Because she's supposed to be on this show showing off her cooking skills. Tell her one more time. Tell her one more time.
KT,
I gotta
you
make
need to come on the show and share your cooking skills. Yeah.
Yep.
Because she be whipping it up.
She sure do. This supposed to be her. This look good. Now I did the little the Greek yogurt, egg, and garlic mix.
Yeah.
This smells good. Right.
So this, like when you see it separating on the, I don't know if you can see that. When you see that juice on top of the yogurt, like people are like, oh, that's nasty. Like that's just the milk separate, like the other stuff separating from the fat in the yogurt. And just mix it back in. Make sure you mix it all the way in. So if you have like a full container of yogurt and that stuff is on top, you have to actually mix the entire container to make sure that all of everything is combined properly. Because that can change how how certain stuff is delivered. So that's why a lot of stuff says shake well before using or opening and stuff like that. Is not because most things are going to separate, because a lot of the stuff that we're eating is a combination of several different things. So it has to be recombined so that you're getting the full content. So this is just I'm doing three tablespoons. I think is like about a half a cup. Like I said, I eyeball the mess out of stuff because like I'm cooking, I'm not doing surgery. So
like
if
like
I
looking
get
at
a
this
little bit
now,
off, I'm not gonna lose any sleep.
I gotta do cheese. Because I'm like, I almost want to add another serving of it, like the mixture, another egg with.
You can, because the pan I'm using is pretty small, so I actually don't need that much.
Okay, yeah, I am, because this looks like it just needs one more, and it'd be really juicy, like creamy. Really juicy and creamy. I probably won't add no more garlic, but it does smell amazing. And the yogurt, I mean, I ain't hurt nobody, and then I still got cheese to top it off with. So, yeah.
And so the egg just makes sure everything like congeals together, so you can like cut out a square and it'll hold together. But if you want it creamier, skip the egg. If you want like a creamy casserole, don't put egg in it, because then the egg won't make it soggy.
Okay, so I just add more. Of the Greek yogurt and some garlic in it, and that'll make it more creamier.
Yeah.
I just don't want this garlic to overpower it.
Oh, the whole time. So I'm actually about to pour this into my pan, and then I'm going to mix my cheese and stuff in, and then my rice, and then I'm going to add my other stuff and get it all mixed together.
Yep, I'm mixing.
Pop it in. These little spatulas come in handy, so you ain't wasting nothing. all of that going in.
Yes, this looks so freaking good. Like so freaking good. Huh, sis? What you say?
She said you're so pretty.
Oh no, you so pretty, sis. You beautiful.
I say you so crazy.
Ah, well, okay, well, you still beautiful. Right.
She said that works too. All right.
You welcome. Yes. Okay.
This is gonna be so. Oh,
girl, this is about to be bomb deep.
My stand and broke on me. I don't know how that happened. I think my daughter got me. Cause she be in everything, chewing on everything. Like if she wanted, she got it.
Oh,
she gonna for my daughter, cause she gonna find a way to get to it. Like even if she gotta go through you, run you over and down, she gonna find a way to get to do whatever it is that she's trying to do right now.
Right.
And she ain't even 2 yet. Ain't no terrible 2, but she is definitely a terror, because she sure be terrorizing. I ain't slept good in a week messing around with her. I'm up trying to get stuff done at 12:30. Guess who up with me? Looking. Insta. Running around.
Hey, good morning, sis. Hey, good morning.
Now that's mixed. We're gonna add
This shit is just falling. I'm
the
sorry.
rice. So now the rice,
Wait a minute.
I actually made a lot. This is a lot of rice, but I can bag it up. And see, that's another thing. Like, don't underestimate freezing your leftovers. Like, this is, I don't know, because this is like 2.5 cups, 2.5, 3 cups of cooked rice. I only need like a cup and a half of this rice really for this recipe. And all I'm gonna do is just put this in the bag and freeze it. And then guess what? Now I save my time, making it for something else. So people think like to meal prep you gotta have all these thousands of containers with everything packaged.
Right.
No, you can just make the stuff, freeze
Right.
it, and then pull it out the freezer, and then
That's
now you
it.
got options. So if you want a side of rice, you got a bag in the freezer already cooked of side of rice.
Right.
Even with the chicken and stuff that I'm doing, like I said, this might be a little bit more than what's gonna fit in this pan. Whatever's left, I'm gonna put it in a bag and freeze it, and then guess what? I already have chicken and vegetables for something else. So do not underestimate the power of leftovers and freezing them.
Girl, I have the
I'm
guy.
definitely gonna get this
You know
chicken
what? Let
stuff
me tell you something. Whatever you want is what. So I have the guy who bought some cheddar cheese curds. They Cajun
in.
cheddar cheese curds.
Ooh.
And I was supposed to use them for like some, quick mozzarella sticks or whatever I was gonna do. Uh, but I'm putting it in here. I'm about to put it in here. Why not? We get it how we live it. We do what we want and the king. Well, no, we don't. We do what we're supposed to. Look, let me stop. Okay, hold on. What do you say, Lord Taco say? Big Mama never. He always say that Big Mama never used nothing
Never
better.
exactly, yeah. But that's because she was cooking with love. Like
Yes,
love is the measurement. Like, oh yeah, I know this is gonna be
yes. And
real
you can
good. I'm
smell
gonna add
it.
some extra broccoli because it's gonna make them extra healthy. Because them kids not gonna eat no broccoli by itself. So if you find a way to sneak some broccoli into something else, you finna kill it with the broccoli. Like, don't worry, they won't eat that, but they
Smell
gonna
it.
eat
That's the
this.
one word, as
It
I'm
smells
cooking it.
so good. It
Yeah.
smells so
You
good.
can
Like
smell it. You can smell what food.
so everything is in, all my cheese and stuff mixed in. And now I'm about to top it with some Parmesan and a couple of herbs. Oregano is making its appearance again to go on top. And another thing you could possibly add to this to like give it a different type of flavor is some pesto. You can actually make the chicken with the pesto and then mix the other stuff in. So this is the one I have, but like I don't have no preference for the brand or nothing like that. So I couldn't tell you if any of them taste any different because it's pesto. so but that makes a big difference in a lot of different recipes that I do, especially like if you're doing like more of an Italian type thing. That pesto can really like get you together real quick. And on top, what we got? I'm gonna put a little bit of ground sage on top too. And so now my oven, well, my air fryer is ready. And then I set this timer for. So I just set the timer for 35 minutes on here. Um, and you can't really see into the pan the way it's sitting, but it's in there. It's ready to do its cooking thing. So And that's it. That's all. We will definitely share our finished pictures of our food in the group. So if you are not a part of our Facebook community, join us. Do not miss out because I also post my regular meals throughout the week in the group. So if no dessert, it's what do you mean? You have dessert? Like we got a whole thing of yogurt we didn't even put in there. We like we was just talking about dessert, a parfait. That is a very healthy dessert. Like I said, the bacteria cultures in yogurt help with your digestion. If you're a woman, it helps with your vaginal health. The fruit and stuff like that you choose have a ton of antioxidants. Berries especially, so your blueberries, blackberries, the darker the that's what they said, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Yeah, they went a little left field with that, but no, it's actually true for fruit. The darker the berry, the higher the antioxidant content. So your blackberries, your blueberries, raspberries actually have a pretty decent amount of antioxidants. They're really high in that. Cranberries. We talked about that when we did the cranberry. What did I do? Did I tell y'all? Yeah, when we did the granola bars. When I was telling y'all about
Yes.
the cranberries and stuff that I put in, they are like amazing. And if you eat meat, you should also be eating cranberries because cranberries get your gut back together. Because eating meat actually puts a lot of strain on your digestive system, which is why the portions need to be smaller, that you're not overdoing it on your body with the meat. And cranberries help with that. So yeah, have a parfait. Nuts are a great source of fiber, uh, other nutrients. They help you feel fuller longer. They have a pretty decent amount of protein. So yeah, and you can have a smaller portion of it. Like a lot of the parfaits that you see sold in stores are actually 2 servings of of that yogurt. So you don't want to eat what is I believe it's like a half a cup is actually the suggested serving size for yogurt, and then you put all the other stuff in it. That's a full meal. Well, not a full, but it's a full figured snack. So you can get a decent amount of protein if you're using dairy yogurt. If you're using non-dairy yogurt, that's a whole different set of nutrients. So those nutrients are going to apply directly to whatever type of yogurt you're using. But me, I'm a milk drinker. Like I'm a cow milk drinker. So yeah, who was that? Was somebody was like, oh, you know what's in cow milk? Like, yep, and I drink it. Like, get it. Like, you'd be surprised at the other stuff that people are eating that they don't realize what they eating. It's like I know what's in the milk. Like, otherwise I wouldn't drink it. Like anything that I put in my body, I know what's in it. Like you're not gonna surprise me with like, oh, I didn't know that was no. So yeah, when you go to a fast food restaurant and you ordering food, you don't know what's in there. You assume that it's safe because it's mass produced or they selling or they got regulations. All of those regulations have what do they have, like loopholes, caveats. Like it's not an overarching like guideline. Like they have certain guidelines, and even with those guidelines, they have certain allowable amounts of stuff. So things that you would say no, none of that should be in there. They have certain allowable amounts because it is mass produced or because it is mass stored. So when you buy candy bars, there's bugs in it. There's a certain amount of allowable bug in your candy bar. So you're getting a little bit of extra protein when you eating your Snickers. Like, and it's cool. Like it still tastes good, don't it? Everything. So don't worry about what's in my cow milk when I drink it. Yes, we back on cow milk time, yeah, because you tried to come for me. I enjoy my cow milk because it makes all my cookies and stuff taste good. And it coats my cereal just right. I did. I tried this on
You know what though? I tried the oatmeal.
I'm not just gonna say, oh no, I don't do that. Huh?
No, I was saying I tried the oat milk. I like the oat milk. It's like it's the extra creamy oat milk. I like it. And when my son like stuff, that's like a big 10. That's like Mikey likes it. Like I actually like the oat milk. It's really good.
Yeah, but I have a very sensitive palate because I would say it's probably because I have a sensitive sense of smell. I don't think it's just like my sense of taste. I think it's more so my sense of smell. And everything tastes different to me. So like all the milks, like if you do even with just cow milk,
2% milk tastes completely different from whole milk to me. And even the different brands of milk, I can taste the difference between those milks. So it can all be whole milk. But if it's like you can put 2 or 3 different brands of whole milk in front of me and have me drink it, and I can tell you that those are not the same brand of milk. Like that's how sensitive my sense of taste is. So like it, all of that, it might taste good, but it's not gonna be the same. So I'm still gonna drink my cow milk, my whole cow milk, and I do drink 2% milk sometimes. I don't really do skim milk because it tastes like foggy water. Skim milk actually does taste like water. It doesn't taste anything like milk. I would prefer soy milk over skim milk. I've had soy milk. I've had almond milk. I've had the the Silk brand. I've even tried lactate. That tastes weird. It's odd.
That tastes weird.
I haven't tried the oat milk yet, but I saw some at the grocery store. I might pick some up on my next trip.
Yeah, well, especially I was looking at it, and then when I saw it was on sale and it was cheaper than the almond milk, I said, you know what, we're about to try this. And when we tried it, like I said, Mikey likes it, and it definitely. I got the extra creamy. Well, I just put out the figure, but I got the extra creamy.
Vitamin D. What does that mean? What do you mean? Milk has vitamin D in it.
Huh? Where you at?
Ty said, so do you drink vitamin D? That's what's in milk. And then most milk, like most of the plant milk, like soy milk and stuff like that, is fortified with vitamin D because that's the whole purpose of drinking milk. It's vitamin D is an essential vitamin that you need for your, well, it's a non-essential because your body actually makes vitamin D from potassium, which broccoli has potassium in it. So if you're deficient in potassium, then your vitamin D might suffer, which actually helps with your bone density, how you absorb calcium. And in the winter months when there's less sunlight, your body is less able to make vitamin D from potassium. So it's best that you intake vitamin D in the winter months when there's less sunlight and you're less likely to be outside. Because actually, you can't get UV rays like how you would just being out in the sun if you're inside. So even if you open up the windows and you got sunlight shining through your window, that is not doing anything for your production of vitamin D. You have to actually go outside because the glass actually helps block those rays. So you have to actually go outside and stand and use some sunlight with your sunblock on. Even if it's cloudy, you still want to put on some type of SPF protection. I don't care how much melanin you got. Put you some skin protection on. Stop thinking like, oh, I'm black. I don't know. You need some sun protection because that is radiation. And radiation, once it touches your body, is absolutely rewriting your genetic code. So you have to protect yourself against that. So even if it's just an SPF 10 or SPF 15, you're less likely to burn. Yes, that's what melanin does. It prevents you from burning, but the effects that radiation has on you is the same. You can still get skin cancer. You can still get aging spots. You get wrinkles, all that stuff. And all that affects everyone. Like God said, he's shining that sun on everybody. Not just the good people, not just the nice people, not just the people who want to get skin cancer too. Nope, everybody getting sunlight. So protect yourself. But also remember, when you have on that sunblock, you are reducing the amount of UV that your body is receiving. So that also limits your potassium to vitamin D production. So it is best to find ways to also intake vitamin D, whether it's through a multivitamin, your milk source, fortified objects. So a lot of times cereals and things tend to be fortified with a lot of these other vitamins. And look for that. They're going to say it bright, loud and clear on the front of the box because they had to add it. So that's an extra expense for them. So they're going to make sure you know that they spend a little extra to make it healthier.
Oh, yeah. That's Miss Monique.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
That's Miss Monique. Hey, Miss Monique and the ladies, how are you? Shout out to y'all. Keep up the great work.
Smells so good. And this air fryer, it blows the hot air around, and it has like a vent on top, so it's actually blowing the food smell out and all over. So it smells delicious in here. And the people in the hallway, like they can smell our food. be like, oh, that be y'all cooking all that stuff, be smelling good in there. Like, yeah, yeah, that's had a whole hallway smelling like good.
Okay. What?
But broccoli has the antioxidants that help. They call it oxidative stress. So that's what sunlight, the UV radiation causes in your cells is oxidative stress. So any type of cell, every type of cell in your body has a metabolism. It's taking in things from the environment and it is breaking it down to use it for its own cellular purpose. Now, oxidative stress comes in where the cell actually begins to break down prematurely. And what antioxidants do is they fight the free radicals that cause that. So when you have oxidative stress, there's a metabolism process that your cells are going through that's creating extra electrons. We'll call them extra electrons. And those electrons bounce off of other cells and pop other electrons off of them. And so that's what oxidative stress is doing. It's causing the cells to break down faster by making their structure unstable from these free radicals. And the antioxidants come in and capture those free radicals because that's just how their structure is set up, where they can actually pull in these extra electrons that's floating around. And that is how they stop that. And so that is also why they're very good cancer fighting things, because a lot of times the oxidative stress and the free radicals actually make cancer more voracious and much more malignant because it's not checked by these antioxidants. So if you are at risk of cancer, if you have cancer, if you're trying to avoid cancer, get antioxidants into your system daily, as much as possible, as often as possible. You cannot have antioxidant toxicity. Like some things are good for you in moderation.
You can't have an overdose.
You overdo it, exactly. But if you overdo it, you have problems. Antioxidants ain't one of them. So get as many and as much in as you can, especially if you spend a lot of time outside, or if you're in a highly polluted area with a lot of air pollution. Broccoli has actually been shown to reduce those type of effects in smokers and people that's in high air polluted areas. So and that's not a confirmed study. Like that's one small study that they did, and that was the result that they found from it. But you can be your best guinea pig, and guess what? Broccoli is not it's not unhealthy or it's not dangerous to test on yourself. So try it out and find out if your lungs feeling better. If you pop you don't have nothing, and guess what? The broccoli worked.
That's it. Test it. That's all you can do. Just test it. Try it. See.
Exactly. And that's why I love doing stuff like this, because it gets the information out about something that's going to be healthy for you regardless. Like whether you think it works for this thing or not, guess what? There's so many other health benefits. You are not doing yourself a disservice by adding it to your diet.
Right. I knew it. I'm like, are you froze? I knew it.
It's made like a crispy layer of this Parmesan cheese on top of my casserole. I'm gonna have to check it out. It might actually turn into like a crust, so it's like I'm doing an upside down casserole. So I'm gonna just flip, when I flip it out of the pan, then it'll be like you got a Parmesan crust. Ooh, Parmesan crust casserole.
Whoa, a crispy crust. Hey D.
Hey D, how you doing? You gonna make your casserole and post it in the group?
Yeah. We can just post our results in the group interview. Yeah, we're good, Queen. We're good.
It's hot in here too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clean up my kitchen, put away my extras, and I will see you all later and in the group, and I'll find like a health benefit graphic or something for broccoli, so you'll have a quick little cheat sheet to refer to all the benefits of broccoli, and I'll drop that in the group today as well. I'm gonna hit up a
Absolutely.
friend and see if they can cook for me today because I'm busy all day. Look at you.
You
You
know
know
what?
you got plenty of friends that'll cook
I'm
something
sure
for
you
you.
got plenty of friends.
You know you got people that want to make sure your well-being is
Exactly. Exactly, King. Come on, Lord Ty. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll definitely be here next week. What are we doing? It's a new month.
It is a new month. I
Hey.
haven't gotten the March menu together yet, but I do
Okay.
have some ideas like for the snacks too. It's going to be a kid friendly, super easy, super quick snack, and then I'm going to probably find probably a couple of them to do because they're so quick. Like it's really like not even 10 minutes to prepare. Like the hardest part is cutting the stuff up. But and yogurt will be involved. So yes, I'm glad you brought that up with the parfaits and stuff because that's actually going to be a part of that. And it's going to be like a fun, a fun thing because kids like stuff that's fun. And we get to love it because it's healthy.
I keep talking about the Bill Nye idea, and when I mention it to people, like people losing their mind. People like, oh my God, I love Bill Nye. I'm like, go shut up, I didn't.
No, but have you seen the new show, Bill Nye? He's like cool. He got his 3-piece suit going.
No.
Bill cool.
We about to do it. We about to do it. Like I think
the man look like he ain't aged a day from the time his hair is a little bit gray. That's about it.
Miss Monique says she can't wait. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
and then
it's gonna be fun.
To be able to like, okay, if it's a child or you got children and you want to feature with us, and we can go live with the stream, and they're doing it while we're doing it with. Like that is the dopest thing to me. I think that would really attract children. I think children want to do it. They want to be live and all that stuff. Like this to be the dopest science show ever. I cannot wait. Like I'm ready to just make stuff.
Yeah, and like just having access to that made a big difference in me joining the STEM field. And when I was in school, they flocked to me, like because I was a minority, like a triple minority. I was a young Black woman in the science field. Like all of those fields, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Those are very white male dominated fields. So if you're a man and you're a minority, it's not as exciting as if you're a woman and a minority. Right. So even white women, like I said, like STEM fields are very, very white male dominated. So they have tons of scholarships, tons of free programs and all that stuff to get more minorities into those fields. Like a lot of the stuff that I was doing, like for my summer programs and all that stuff was covered by those grants and those scholarships and things like that. So I was able to further my my interest and even my progress in those fields based on them trying to get more people like me into it. So we really got to change those mindsets out here that it's something hard or it's something that you can't do or something that's not for you. It's absolutely for you, and they are looking for you. They want you in there, like they want you. So I'm telling you, that's where the money is, and that's where the opportunity is. Like even I was a part-time lab tech, like, and that's like very basic. Like the stuff I was doing, you really only needed a high school education for. I had a degree, and I was doing the stuff, and I was getting paid part-time $18 an hour. Right. So you can come out of high school doing that and get paid $18 an hour working as a lab tech. Wow. Because that's where the money is. So I hope I'm sparking some interest by saying you can get paid more working as a part-time lab tech than you will be as working as a manager at McDonald's. So okay. And it's basic math, like I said, basic math and reading skills. If you can be trained, you can do it. And for me, it was definitely a personal interest in just learning how stuff works. Like when you realize like the complexity of everything that goes on around us, like you take a lot less for granted. Like our bodies, like the way our bodies work is like so intricate and so complex. It's a ton of stuff they don't know about our body. That's why Thank you. Exactly. That's why a lot of the stuff that we talk about isn't necessarily founded in science, because the experiments can't be controlled, because our body, you can't control what goes on in somebody's body. Come on and teach this. Come on and teach this. You can't control for, so it makes it where you can't make it a scientific or a reproducible study. And so that's where the problem comes in with saying, oh, this isn't backed by science. And that's why a lot of health supplements and things like that aren't regulated by the FDA, because the the studies that it were required to make it, I would say, acceptable through FDA regulations, those things can't happen. We don't have the technology to even track what goes on in the human body without harming the person. So there's a lot of ethical blocks and things like that. So you are your own chemist. You are your own biochemist. You are your own researcher when you are making meals for yourself. So you have to do that research for yourself, for your personal body chemistry. Like, it's certain things that are healthy for other people that might not be healthy for you. Correct. You're made up. So you have to go and look and find that stuff out for yourself. Right. And it's important that you take that hand in your own health and do that for yourself. Worked in pharmaceuticals for a short period, and that money was and I actually was in school for pre-pharmacy. I wanted to become a pharmacologist. I wanted to make the drugs that save lives and help people. But when I found out that whole industry was only based on money, they don't care if you get healthy. In fact, they don't want you to get healthy. In fact, they push drugs onto the market that have like these amazing side effects, so that now when you get this drug that saves your life, now you have to get 3-4 other drugs to counteract the effects of the side effects. I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I'm actually here to help people, to make people healthier, not make them dependent. Right. Like, teach this. Stay in your pocket. It's almost 8 billion people. I don't need to stay in your pocket. Like, and that's what that's what really irked me about that. I was like, yeah, these people, they're not out here trying to help people. I can't, consciously be a part of that. Like, my morals and my ethics won't allow me. So I didn't. Monique says, right. Amelia took a special engineering math program in high school that was like a promotion for girls to get into those fields. Yep. But her interest was in writing, and she is a whiz with math. You know what? They actually have technical writing in science. Like, I actually had to take a technical writing class, because when you write up these reports and things, you have to not only write it in the technical sense for, with the actual terms and things of the science, but you also have to be able to write it in a sense that people who aren't in that scientific field can understand, because 90% of the funding that comes for those research projects come from people that are not scientifically inclined. They're in it for the money. Like I said, they're in it for the money. If they're funding a research project, it's because they expect to get a return in monetary, right? Not just a scientific advance. They want their name known. They want the money from it, all of that. So she can still do writing in a scientific field. They have scientific journalists. Like, there's a lot of papers and things that actually cater to that type of writing, because the world is getting so much more aware of these type of things, like the body chemistry. Anytime you talk about anything about health, people are going to zone in on it, but you have to write it in a way that they can understand it. So if you have a scientific mind and you can understand it, then you can translate it for them without losing, the meaning and the accuracy of it. Because I noticed that early on, when they first started writing these scientific articles, there were, some things that they tried to like use metaphors and things to, to say, oh, this is like this, and I read them like that's not like that at all. So it helps when you actually understand what you're writing about, to make sure that you're not trying to simplify it too much to where the point is missed, the point is lost. Right. So she can definitely find. I'm telling, and that's why I love science. Like, it's so bright. It covers literally everything. There are people who left my school with a chemistry degree and is doing everything. Like, name a job, and I can tell you someone with a chemistry degree is doing it. So, like, basically how you're trained is to investigate. That's essentially what science is. Investigating. So if you're curious and you like to solve problems, science is for you. I'm not that great at math. Unfortunately, science is very heavy with math. However, if you understand the concepts and all that stuff, like, I might not be, designing nothing or something that, requires precise mathematics, but I can definitely help drive things forward with, new ideas, understanding how things work, solving problems and things like that. Like, everybody has a spot and a space in science, and it's very welcoming for everyone. That's why they want so many more people in it, because you're leaving a lot of experience on the table when you try and block people out. So, like I said, it used to be a very white, male-dominated field for a plethora of reasons, but they understand that it's been crippled for that very same reason. So that's why they're
searching people, they're headhunting. So make sure you standing there with your sign, pick me, because they will definitely come and scoop you up, and they will take very good care of you the whole entire way. There's so many mentors, there's so many people that really want to see that field grow, because as that field grows, hey,
say hi.
love.
She's here to close us out. She loves to say, please subscribe and make sure, say it. Now, what you be saying?
Make sure subscribe, please note down.
She is a for real YouTube kid, like child. She's a for real YouTube child. Like that's all she do is talk YouTube. So she was over there doing it. I was like, girl, come on over here and just do it here.
Right. Say, Monique said, tried to influence her to maybe consider architecture, but it was no sale. No regrets though. She did graduate summa cum laude with BA in writing. Okay,
right.
Let her know about this. Yes, and congratulations to her. Like summa cum laude is top.
It is. And then English. I actually have a bachelor's in English from well, it's writing, but still I went through the creative writing field. But yep, bachelor's in English as well. I love reading. I love writing. I love like she said, it's still within the different genres or the different fields of study. It's like the same exact thing, but you got different genres. You got different words you use. You got different genres. Like that's all about what you. So it's like, especially for a writer, it's imperative that you're going through different, courses of study, because you have to have some type of knowledge in each field for a sense, to even write about it. So that's dope. That's a start, and she can continue on, in any field to become an expert in it. Like you said, if it's technical writing for science, and that's dope, because I didn't even know that. That's a whole nother. Wow, technical writing for science. It
was a whole course, and it was actually required for graduation. So I absolutely, but luckily for me, I'm an amazing writer anyway, so it wasn't far of a leap for me. But some people really struggle with that, especially the more scientifically inclined people. They really struggle with that writing portion, and it's because they assume like, oh, I'm doing science, like I don't have. No, you absolutely have to be able to communicate your findings to all levels of understanding, and if you can't, then you basically cornholed yourself in a science lab.
Right. Miss Monique said hi. Hi, you want to say hi, Miss Monique? Well, we gotta wait till it's moving. Now say hi, Miss Monique.
Hi.
Say have a great day, Miss Monique.
Great
day. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna get ready to get on out of here.
We went way off topic, but I hope it was.
I know, right? It's okay.
Information.
It's and it's necessary information. Like I'm telling you, I love just learning stuff I ain't know. So Miss Jordan, just Jordan, go ahead, take us on out of here. Tell them what they need to do.
They need to
subscribe.
What
else they got to do? Say bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Do that whole little thing.
Bye.
No.
Subscribe.
I love it. I swear, she was working out with me earlier. It was amazing. So, all right, guys, we are out of here. We will see you next week, and tune in. Don't forget, you'll see our results in the group. So yes. She is a sweetie pie. Y'all gotta go to the Miss Carolyn's group and see her work out this morning. She worked out with me. So yeah, she fun. So all right, guys, we love you. RockTruth.